Hello, everyone, and welcome to Deconstructing the Dark Passenger podcast, the podcast about all things Dexter. I'm Jean.
I'm Victoria.
Today, we're going to march on our look at some of the killers that Dexter killed. We talked about the ice truck killer. And like I said, at least in the early seasons, it seemed that even the killers that were just kind of weekly one-offs had some kind of, most of them have some kind of relevance to the bigger plot well, not the bigger plot, but the bigger theme of Dexter kind of discovering himself.
Yes.
And so, I mean, I think it's there for sure in the first season. So we start off right away, that first episode right away. We get this guy, Mike Donovan.
Yes.
And Mike Donovan, this is a theme that will come up with Dexter again and again about how protective, and I mean, Dexter is very protective of children.
Yes, he is.
You know, I'm not an expert at all in the psychology of the serial killer, but it seems to me that you do get a lot of serial killers that victimize children because they're easy. Kids don't fight back, or if they do fight back, they're not very strong. Or
yes,
you know,
most of the ones that victimize children are also pedophiles.
Yes, so that's, you know, this guy. I don't know if we know specifically that he is a pedophile, but
we know he killed kids.
He killed boys in particular.
Yes.
Little boys that he got from his church.
Yes.
You know, this is hitting all the... This could be an episode of Evil on this guy.
Yes.
But, so Dexter goes after this guy. So, this first episode, we all, you know, Dexter, he's got... Obviously, the character grows and all, but his presentation, his whole affect is very flat. You know, the introduction, there's something missing, but, you know, who knows? I didn't kill my parents, you know. I mean, it's all very matter of fact and very flat, and except when he gets a hold of this guy.
Yeah. And then he opens up.
And we see, like I said, there's times in Dexter, because he has this mask, and he's presenting it to the audience as well, you know.
Yes.
But so we see that, so sometimes we see the mask truly drop. And this is one of those times when he kills this Mike Donovan guy. Even from, like, you know, it's not business as usual. He's visibly angry while he's subduing him and getting him to drive to the spot where he's buried all these kids, where Dexter has unburied them. And basically tells them, like, kids.
Yeah.
I would not even do that. Like,
yeah.
I'm the most successful serial killer ever, and I would not do that.
And, you know, he doesn't seem to be, like, he's making him drive to this place. Yes. We don't see Dexter do that a lot.
He doesn't do that a lot, because it's risky.
It's very risky.
But he does it here. I think it's interesting because, you know, he does go on. I think we know enough now. We know Dexter is an unreliable narrator about himself.
Yes.
So we see him time and time again. I don't have feelings. Nothing really bothers me, blah, blah, blah. I just like to kill people, whatever. He doesn't think he has a soul. But not only does he tell him that I wouldn't even do kids, but you hear his voice. He's very clear about this. And he's always very clear about it. You know, there's never a moment of hesitation with him. He's never tempted to kill. Well, I think once in a while he jokes about killing a kid, but
it's always
a joke.
Yeah,
he never means it. Like, there's never some iffy, like, of all the people he considers, like, going outside the code to take care of it, he never even, like, thinks about doing it to kids.
Nope.
You know, Astor and Cody, arguably, are probably part of the reason that his walls came down.
Yeah, I believe so.
And Harry brings it up again and again. Like, you have always had a soft spot for kids. This is what will do him in. Well, this will be one of the things that does him in season 4 with the Trinity Killer.
Yeah.
Is that he's got to save this kid. So I think, you know, for everything, like I said, for everything that the series does, or that Dexter tries to do throughout the series to convince himself and to convince the audience that he's just this stone cold, emotionless beast, you know, from the very beginning, even when he's at his most unrelatable in that first episode, from the very beginning, we see he's got a weakness here.
Yes.
Or a soft spot. Maybe not. A weakness is not the right word. Soft spot.
Yeah, we see the one thing that he holds dear.
Yeah, and he sees, like, understands that whatever he thinks of himself, he holds these people that hurt children even lower contempt. Like,
yes.
I'm not the worst thing in the world.
They're the scum of the world.
They are the scum of the earth.
Yes.
I guess you could quote the Bible here, because I mean, Jesus, says as much, like, it'd be better for you if you were thrown into a lake with a stone tied around your neck than you would hurt a child,
Yes.
And here's this guy, this church guy, So I think that's an interesting point.
That is an interesting point, that he is a church guy.
He's a church guy.
And that he's doing this, and it's all little boys, and he just doesn't even seem to have a conscience about it.
Right. Well, I mean, but they all kind of cry when they're face to face with Dexter.
Yeah, I mean, who wouldn't?
Yeah.
If I got a guy looking at me with an apron on and one of those welder masks on.
What do you want to hear to make you stop?
And he's holding a knife, and he has just cut my cheek, and he's taking my blood, and he's putting it on a slide.
And he's telling me, like, this is why you're about to die.
Yeah, and he's making me look at the people I've killed. Yeah, I'm going to cry too.
Yeah.
Like, I totally understand that.
I think it's interesting, and I think when we get to Trinity, because Trinity will be his own episode, but we'll talk about, I think we're going to come back to Mike Donovan when we talk about Trinity, because there are some parallels there.
There are some.
I feel like this is, like I said, Dexter does most of his heavy lifting development between seasons 1 and 4.
Yes, he does.
And I kind of see Mike Donovan as, like, that's kind of morphed into the Trinity killer at the end.
Yeah, because of the Trinity being the one thing they didn't know about the Trinity, basically, until the end was the boys. So
we also have, we have this guy, Jamie Jaworski. I feel like here, so we're getting introduced in this first season. We're kind of learning about Dexter, right?
Yeah.
And Jamie Jaworski, I think Mike Donovan was definitely the best choice for the first kill.
Yes.
We see. Jamie Jaworski could have been another good choice too, because we get this whole bit about the dog, and the dogs don't like Dexter, But Jamie Jaworski was not even, he was a murderer, he was a bad guy, but he wasn't like this Mike Donovan guy. Like, he did dozens of people. It was, as far as we know, only like 1, maybe 2 people.
Yeah.
But Dexter, when he gets to him, and we get here, we're going to get a repetition of a theme. He killed this woman, Jane Saunders, who's the mother of 2.
Yes.
This will be a theme that comes back again and again and again. Obviously, Laura Moser was a mother of 2. Rita's a mother of 2. The Trinity killer is the son of a mother of 2, So this is, I don't know what they're trying to tell us here, but it is I guess we'll get to it.
And if you look at it, a lot of the mother of 2s are girl-boy.
Yes. Yep. They are girl-boy.
Moser had, Laura had 2 boys, but a lot of the coupling of the children are boy and girl.
I think we'll kind of dive into what I think the significance of that is as we get toward. I think the Trinity killer is the time to address a lot of this, because I think a lot of these themes that I think that a lot of the themes that they grow throughout the first few seasons, they really kind of get tied together neatly in season 4.
Yeah.
Many of them fall apart after that. Not all of them, but I think thematically, no matter. People like other seasons. I think there's a strong argument for season 5. Everybody likes what they like, but I think if you're looking at this as let's look at thematic unity. I think it's very easy to say 3 seasons 1 through 4, for all their faults, were unified thematically. Thematically, maybe after 5 at the latest, we start thematically they start losing the thread.
Yeah, because they thought they were done for after that. After 4, they thought they were done.
Well, I don't know if they. I don't know. I'd have to go back and check what the timeline was with when they knew they were getting renewed and stuff like that. I know that Clyde Phillips had a very clear vision about how it was supposed to end, and it was nothing like either 4 or 8. So
yeah.
Okay. So I think so when he kills Jaworski, and Jaworski, because he confronts them like he does with all of them, he confronts them with his crimes, and he's like, well, I'm not sorry. And Dexter's like, I'm not either. And again, I think after seeing what he did to Mike Donovan, and seeing, Mike Donovan, who he actively wanted to kill,
Yes.
And Jaworski, too. I'm not sure with Jaworski, it was so personal. But I think we're starting to see the picture here when he's like, well, I'm not sorry either. That's, I feel like it's a funny line, but I almost feel like it was Dexter trying to convince himself that none of this bothers him.
Yes.
But I think you're starting to see that this code of Harry, which we will become familiar with as the series goes on, as this episode goes on, or the season goes on. The code of Harry, which was sold to Dexter as a way to keep him out of trouble, has imprinted himself. This is the way his conscience that should have developed and would have developed if he got psychiatric help or whatever else. This is the way his conscience is developed within this framework. Like, his conscience was there and it could have developed like a normal person's, but it wasn't given that. It was given this other route, and that's the route it took. But he doesn't seem, with stuff like this, he doesn't seem that. Most people are not serial killers, okay? But he doesn't seem that alien.
Yeah.
He seems understandable. This is different even than the Dexter in the books. The Dexter in the books seems alien.
Yes.
And inscrutable.
Yes.
He is more like Brian in the series, or like Brian in the show.
Yes.
And Brian in the book is the same thing, But the Dexter of the television series he's almost relatable. He's not completely inscrutable. Like, you can understand. I'm not saying, nobody's saying they would do it, but you say, okay, but you understand why he's angry at the child killer. You understand why he's like, fuck this Jamie Jaworski. I don't care either.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, you basically understand why he kills everybody. Now, sometimes you're like, that's a little too much. You could probably just go ahead and turn him into the police, but like when he kills the guy, when he kills Mike Donovan, you're like, yeah, fine,
Yeah.
It's
okay.
Didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's talk about Nurse Mary, who was obviously his very first kill.
His very first kill.
And we get to see that, and we get to see him flash back on that.
And we actually hear Harry asking.
Yeah.
Harry tells him that she's been giving him too much morphine. Mm-hmm. And that's what's making him worse.
Yes. And we get a little, they tweak it a little bit in Original Sin.
Yes, they do.
But it's like, it all comes down to the same thing in the end, which is,
he was getting too much, and Nurse Mary had to go.
And he tells Dexter, he's like, stop her.
Yes.
And he doesn't say kill her. He just stop her. And I think this is kind of foreshadowing here, because he says, we know he means kill her.
Yeah.
But he can't even, this extremist, he's near death at this point.
And he couldn't even say those words.
He couldn't even say kill her.
Yeah. Yeah, I've come back to that over and over, especially after Original Sin, because Original Sin did set it up differently, where she was trying to give him the shot, and Harry was like, I don't want it. And Dexter's like, he doesn't want it.
Yeah.
So it is set up a little bit differently in Original Sin, but it all comes down to the same thing. Like, Harry didn't want it, and you kind of see it going in Dexter's mind what's happening. Uh-huh. And yeah, but Harry could never say kill her.
Right.
It was always take care of this person,
yes.
or I wish somebody would take care of this person.
Oh, well, somebody rid me of this meddlesome priest.
Yeah, and it was always, I wish somebody would take care of this, or I wish we had better evidence. It was always the wish or the hope of something else happening that pushed Dexter to know what Harry wanted.
And it's, in a way, it's kind of like, Harry's just, I feel like we could just have a whole series on Harry, because for whatever he thought about what was wrong with Dexter, did he even understand Dexter as a human being? He almost feels like he thinks Dexter is like this little, like he's almost a little totem or something.
I felt like he treated Dexter great as a son, but when it came to talking about his dark passenger and him killing, he treated him like a robot.
Yes.
It's always, don't forget the code. You have to go by the code. You have to, if you didn't want him to have to live like that, why did you set him up for that?
Right. I think, we're going to come back to that again and again. Like, Harry, when could you have made a different choice?
Yeah. I mean, and why did you make this choice? Why didn't you try to get him help first?
Yeah, and I'm thinking, like, I put myself in Harry's shoes. He's a cop. He knows how the system works. And he's like, well, once they got you in the system, you know, I get that. But also...
And the fact that he knew about Brian and saw Brian lurking around... Because in Original Sin, he saw Brian. Yeah. And it's like... And he never bothered to say, hey... You have a brother, but he's bad.
I mean, I get that too. I mean, like,
I get it, but I don't.
Yeah. Okay. I think the thing with Nurse Mary, I mean, gives us more insight. Well, it gives us insight into his dynamic with Harry. It gives us some insight into Harry himself.
It does.
But it also shows us this other side of Dexter. I mean, yes, you know, he was probably like, "Yay, I've been given permission to kill somebody," but he doesn't. I mean, I guess you can kind of read that onto it, but it doesn't even feel like that. It feels like he's I mean, he's truly not, it's like, yes, it's a chance to kill somebody, but like it also shows he takes his loyalties seriously.
Yes, he does. He takes his loyalty very seriously. And there are many faces of Harry too. It just, you know, Dexter took that as kill, and
well, that's how Harry meant it.
Yep, and
Harry
then he
just
ran
did not,
with it.
Again, Harry just did not have the courage of his convictions. He just could not say, kill her.
Well, he's still a cop when he's in the hospital, too.
But, you know, you would have a pretty good argument. If I was a defense attorney, I'd say, like, the dude was half dead and out of his mind.
Well, even after that, even if they had just taken her into jail, they would have gone through her apartment and searched it, and they would have found the book of all of her killings.
Yeah. So, yeah, she was I mean, that's, again, it feels like an easy one, you know. And Dexter's, you know, he gets into situations where it's not such an easy decision, you know.
And some he has to actually seriously research to find the
link, yeah.
Yeah, to find the link to be able to, because...
Sometimes he's like, I just don't like this person.
Yeah.
I have a bad vibe.
But he's got to have a good... He's got to know that this person has killed somebody to actually kill them. Yeah. Because we see later... when he makes a mistake, how that affects him.
Yes, we'll talk about, we'll get there. That came up a couple times in the first 4 seasons, but, okay, so we have Nurse Mary, we have Jimmy. And Matt Chambers, this one I've always thought was interesting. Matt Chambers is the drunk driver.
Oh my God, Matt Chambers irritated me. He needed AA.
But, I was like, when I was watching the Matt Chambers thing, I'm like, okay, so this guy is a dedicated alcoholic.
Dedicated.
He is killing people left and right. And he's still like, I get my drink on. But my question was, so this is in the 2000s. Okay, we have like national databases and stuff back then.
Yes.
Did not buy that this guy was able to move around like this.
I wasn't either, because in a lot of states, it's like 3 strikes and you're out. And I would think some of those states would carry to other states. And he's had all these DUIs, and he's just moving from place to place to avoid them.
Yeah, and they're not like, if you get like, oh, he killed somebody, they're not just like, oh, well, he disappeared. Like, I mean...
There should be something out there, an APB or something.
I want to believe that it would not be this easy for him to move around, but...
Yeah, and I mean, I don't get it. Like, he killed people in almost every state he left. Yeah. Because when Dexter starts looking it up, he finds all these accidents that are related to him with different names and stuff, but he knows it's the same guy. Yeah. And it's like, how did he do that? Like... If there is a database, somebody's got to have his fingerprints and stuff. So how is it so easy for him to continue to change his name and go?
Yeah, those fingerprints are going to hit at some point. And like, my thing is, like, if this guy, if he is such a problematic drinker that he is just literally killing somebody every time he gets into a car because he's so shit-faced, there is no way he's got his poop in a group enough to be moving around like this. There is no way.
Not only that.
Even if he's a functioning alcoholic.
Yeah, but even if they've taken him to jail at all, they're not just going to let him out on his own recognizance if he hits somebody.
Yes, if you kill somebody, you're not just going home. They're posting a high bail.
I mean, I understand putting him in a drunk tank overnight, but it seems like every time he drank and got in his car, he was hitting something. Whether it be a person or a pole, he was killing it out there, you know?
I feel like this guy this one always stuck out to me because it's not like all the other ones.
It's the funniest one for me.
It's kind of funny, but I feel like he would have been better in season 2 because, like, if we're going to talk about addiction,
let's put him in there. Let's see if Dexter can get him into the room.
Get him into the rooms. Get Lila 13th step in this guy.
Oh, God, Lila.
I feel like, because Dexter killed him, but I feel like in a couple of episodes or a couple of seasons, Dexter might have been like trying to get him to AA or NA or something.
Yeah.
I'd be like, well, I tried. He didn't want to. Guess I gotta kill him now.
Gotta kill him. Yeah, the second season would have been best for him, just to have a way.
Just to tie it all up there.
Yeah.
But we do, the other... I feel like there's so many stories. When you think about season 1, it seems like a pretty straightforward season. And then when you go back and rewatch it, like, there's actually a lot going on in season 1.
Yes.
We did have the coyote subplot. And we had Jorge and Valerie Castillo. And then when the kid that thought Jesus got them out of the trunk and stuff. And I think this is going back to because there were a lot of kids involved in this.
Yes.
And there were people, a lot of innocent people were being killed just because they didn't have the money or whatever. But I think we're going back to when he kills Jorge and when he kills Valerie, as Valerie shows up, he's like,
yep.
I kill this bitch too.
He just kills them both.
But I think it goes back to, we get that sense of indignation there.
Yeah.
That he had with Donovan too.
Yeah. I mean...
Because it doesn't, and it's different here because I think with, like Donovan, it feels like a pathological situation. With these people, it's just naked greed.
Yeah. Yeah, and he's like, how do y'all still love each other after so long or something like that? And the way they answered it was obviously wrong because it made Dexter a little upset.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that was a great scene when he killed them, and it was like
they were doing some attitude, mi amor.
Dexter felt the same way. It's like, oh yeah, but that was a great kill scene with those two.
We do have the problem with those two. Like I said, it kind of goes back to me. It feels like going back to the protecting children and like people just killing innocent people for the love of the game. That's
because that's what they were doing. Yeah. And I think at first he wasn't sure if Valerie was in on it, but then once he figured out she knew what was going on, game over.
That was it. I think what was interesting, like that one was the one when Brian dove down to get her body after.
Yes, and brought it back, and it was just like
that was a couple things that strained my suspension of disbelief, and it was Matt Chambers and Brian retrieving Valerie's body. I was like, no, we didn't. None of this happened to me.
Yeah, yeah. There were so many things with Brian that happened that it was just unbelievable. Like getting into Dexter's apartment unseen, unheard, unknown.
I believe that more than he got Valerie's body out of the bottom of the Gulf. But,
yeah, I bet he took Dexter's boat to do it too.
Might have. Then they'll have us believe he just scuba on out there from the shore or something. I don't know.
Nah.
Okay, so I think we see there, like, there's something about all of them, but okay. My absolute favorite is one of my favorites. I talked about it when the episode came up. It's one of my favorite episodes ever. Emmett Meridian, the psychiatrist that talks successful women into killing themselves.
Yes.
I just love the episode because, like I said, it's one of these episodes where just everything hits. Even with the weird editing at the house, it was like everything hits, everything works. Emmett Meridian is a tremendous villain. I almost wish we'd gotten a longer arc with him.
Yeah.
But if we look at Emmett Meridian, so what is Emmett Meridian? He's one of these, it's like a very Jigsaw type of thing. Well, I didn't kill anybody.
Yep.
And he didn't. But
he talked them all into it.
He fucked with their meds. He did whatever, Most of the time, worst case scenario, you probably just have your license pulled if somebody could prove anything.
Yeah. Proving it would be the hardest part.
That's hard. Yes. You probably couldn't, if you had to go through the normal channels with warrants and stuff, you probably wouldn't be able to.
Oh, no, he would have gotten rid of all that.
But the thing about Emmett Meridian is, like I said, like it's the Jigsaw thing. I technically didn't, even though Jigsaw, it's actual bullshit because those people wouldn't be in that situation if it wasn't for you. Emmett Meridian just takes advantage of the situation.
Yes.
But I'm like, if you look at Emmett Meridian, Dexter really doesn't like him. Even though he does avail him of like his psychiatric services.
Yeah.
Which I think is great, and he gets some therapy while he's at it. Okay, but I'm going to ask you what you think, because there's a lot going on in this season. Well, what do you think I will say is the similarity? Whereas like Mike Donovan kind of represents Dexter's, protection of children, and, Nurse Mary is his idea of loyalty, and Jorge and Valerie is also going kind of back to the protection of innocence. What do you think? What do you think I will say is the bits of Dexter that we see in Emmett Meridian? What do you think?
Oh wow.
I think it's pretty. It's like when you stop and look, you're like, yeah, this is what it is.
Yeah.
And I think I feel like the Meridian storyline was for this purpose. But go ahead.
Oh really?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm really not sure.
Okay.
I'm really just not sure, because a psychiatrist being brought in at this point, I don't see.
But what's he do? So he doesn't actually kill anybody. He just talks people into it.
Yeah.
Right. But like, look at Dexter. Most of the mileage he gets is by manipulating people the same way.
Oh.
I mean, most of his success, as far as Rita having any kind of friends, bullshitting Deb her entire life, basically.
It's basically him taking off the mask.
It's him understanding he understands how people tick. Even though he seems like he doesn't get jokes and stuff like that, he knows how to get to everybody.
Yes.
But he studs donuts,
Oh yeah, the donut thing is great. I love that.
I mean, but he's dealing with Meridian. This is like Meridian's like everybody's kind of like a reflection of some
part of him,
some aspect of him. And Meridian is, I think, maybe one of the purest reflections of him, and that in his bare bones, he's a manipulator.
Yeah,
he's a liar. He's a liar. Like you say what you want about Dexter, he has actually made the world a better place in a lot of ways.
Yes,
but he is a liar, and the one person that figures it out all by herself and starts calling him on it. He doesn't kill her, but again, he creates the situation that allows her to be killed.
Yeah.
Yeah. But again, you go back to he's the manipulator like Emmett Meridian. He guilts people, and he uses lies and donuts and everything else. But there's not. Even though the shoe subplot was stupid, there's not a lot of daylight between him and Paul.
Yeah. There's not.
As far as that stuff goes.
Yeah.
So I think like seeing these types of guys, like seeing Dexter take on a guy like Emmett Meridian and watching him manipulate, they're manipulating each other when they're in there in the fake session. And,
yeah.
It's actually, maybe I think that might have been part of the point of that storyline, was to show how deeply and reflexively Dexter does manipulate people. And, we say, oh, well, Meridian's kind of doing the same thing. He's just not taking a knife to people's hearts.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I just love the Meridian storyline. It's just something about, I think it's the actor, and it's just everything else about that episode. It's just everything kind of lines up, and I just love that episode.
It's all just there.
Yeah, he's such a douchebag. Like, I think the very first time I remember seeing him in anything specifically was in Ghost, and he was the terrible douchebag in Ghost. And I feel like every time I turn around, he's playing a douchebag. So, I was like, they took him to hell. It's great.
He's playing the movies from there.
But do you have something else to talk about with these people? Like, who was your favorite killer besides Brian for this season? Mine was Emmett Meridian. How about you?
Oh, I mean, I love me some Brian. But if I had to pick somebody else, I mean, it's amazing to watch him on his first kill. But I think if I had to pick something other than that, it would probably be maybe the drunk driver, just because he was so like, I didn't do it.
It was so wild, yeah.
It was so wild, and he believed his own lies.
He did believe. I mean,
he believed that he didn't do anything wrong.
I guess, you know what? I didn't even think about that, but
he was just so great. He believed his own bullshit. He didn't think he had hurt anybody. Mm-hmm. He didn't think he had killed anybody. He didn't think it was his fault at all.
I don't think he knew he had killed people, but he didn't think it was his fault.
Yeah, it was just...
That was another, yeah. I mean, I think that's also Dexter's, knows he kills people, but it's okay because these are bad people.
Yeah.
You know. But
for the drunk driver, they weren't bad people.
No, they weren't bad people.
They were just... People that were in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Yeah, exactly.
So I think that would be one of my favorites, just because he was just so like... Out of all the other kills, he was the one. He's like, no, you got the wrong guy. I didn't do anything wrong. And it's like
they always say, "Oh, you got the wrong guy."
But most of them cry. I do not remember him crying.
Yeah. No, I don't remember him crying either. I mean, a couple didn't cry.
Yeah, there were a couple, but there were some that were just like, yeah.
Which I think it's always funny to see these stone cold killers.
Crying, weeping, please don't kill me. Well, I bet some of your targets begged you like that.
Sure.
You know. So, but yeah, I think that would probably be my favorite kid this season, other than Brian. I mean,
so you got Matt Chambers, I got Emmett Meridian. We both like Brian. So.
Yeah, Brian was the best. There's so many things that Brian did that you just didn't see until you found out who he was.
Yeah.
And finding out, like, at that house who he was, and seeing Dexter's face, and then him stopping Brian from killing Deb, that was just, all of those things were just, it was like...
I don't have anything else about season 1, the villains of season 1. How about you?
No, I think I'm good. Okay. Brian was the big one, so...
He sure was. Okay, so with that, next week we will be talking about the villains of season 2. Sadly, one we'll have to talk about, even though I don't want to. We're going to have to talk about it.
Bay Harbor Butcher?
No. Oh.
Okay.
Lila.
Oh.
How is Dexter the villain? He is the main character.
I know, but he's the biggest story for season 2. Yeah, but Lila is...
Well, we got a few. He killed other people, but Delilah's the big one, but then we got the others, so we'll talk about them. Well, she's not the biggest one, but we'll talk about it. And in the meantime, you want to check out our other podcasts. We have The Final Assessment, which is our podcast about the show Evil. And we're working on, I think we're still in season 3 on that one. And we have Outside Food and Drink, which is our movie podcast. And we're going to be talking about, month of August is Ideas for Dolls. We're talking about creepy dolls. We talked about magic. We're talking about Annabelle and Dead Silence.
All the great ones.
And The Boy. And you might be surprised at our opinions of these different movies.
Oh, yeah.
So you might want to check that out. You can also follow us on socials. Drop us a line if you want to, if you are also a fan of Emmett Meridian, let me know. Or a fan of Matt Chambers, let me know.
Come on the Facebook and tell us something.
Tell us all about it. All of those links will be in the show notes. And until next week, we're sadly talking about Miss Lila.
Later.